Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very important video where we are going to discuss breakouts. But first things first, we are going to understand what is the exact difference between a breakout versus a fake out. We are also going to discuss about a checklist which will tell you 7 pointers which can help you identify reliable breakouts. And because we're going to talk about 7 pointers, let's also discuss about 7 stocks which could potentially be good breakouts. Before we move on, let me tell you something. We always talk about growing our wealth, but what about protecting it? That's why it's important to diversify your portfolio no matter how much you love the stock market. And I always say that fixed deposits are a great option for it. But why? Because fixed deposits offer liquidity and safety, which is exactly what's required when it comes to meeting your short term goals. Now, I know while traditional FDs give lower returns, people think FDs aren't good. But did you know that some Indian banks also offer much higher interest rates up to 8.8%? But where would you find such banks easily? That's where Stable Money comes in. It's a platform that helps you compare FD rates across 200 plus banks and lets you invest in banks without even opening a savings account there. It's basically an FD aggregator platform. Think of it like Zomato for your FDs, but they don't charge users any money, so don't worry. I hope you all already know that all bank FDs are insured up to 5 lakh rupees per bank per PAN by DICGC, which is a subsidiary of RBI. Plus, some FDs on the app even offer instant withdrawal, super useful for emergencies. You can start with just 1000 rupees. And coincidentally, their advertisement also appeared in Times of India yesterday. Check out the link in the description and pinned comment to explore Stable Money. Now let's get back to the very basic concept of what is a breakout. It's as simple as this. Whenever a stock moves beyond a key resistance level, that is called as a breakout. But not all moves beyond a key resistance level will be a breakout. They could also be traps, and such traps are called as fake outs. Okay, just to tell you in a very simple way, let's say a stock is going in a sideways direction. This will be the key resistance level, and let's say we see a nice green candle, something like this. We would call this as a breakout candle. Okay, but wait, whether this is a true breakout or is it a fake out, for that we are going to learn about 7 key pointers in the form of a checklist so that you can easily identify whether this is a breakout or a fake out. Now let's start with our checklist. What happened? You can't see anything. Everything is blurred. As I go on speaking about the points, we will appear them one by one. Okay. So first things first, whenever you want to ascertain whether it's a breakout or not, you have to understand that the breakout should not be an intraday breakout. It has to close above the breakout. It has to close above the resistance level. Okay. Simple. First point, it has to close above the resistance level. I'm going to give you examples for all the points. Okay. Second thing, you have to ensure that if we are talking about a breakout, it can't be only price, it has to be accompanied by action. Now, what is action? Action is nothing but volume. So if you see a nice breakout, okay, closing basis also, it has closed above the resistance line. It's not that it's in itself is not important. It has to be accompanied by good volumes. But then what do we actually mean by volumes? How will I ascertain whether a specific volume is good or not? For that, what I typically check is that the volume of the breakout candle should be at least 2 times, minimum 2 times of the 30 days average volume. Or if you are talking about a nice rounding bottom kind of a thing, okay, a nice consolidation kind of a thing, in that case, whatever is the consolidation pattern, in that we can check the volumes of the candles and see whether the breakout candle volume is at least 2x as compared to all the candles in formation. Again, as I told you, I'm going to give you examples for every single point. Okay. Next thing, you have to ensure that it's not only a breakout candle, but it is followed by a confirmation candle. Okay, so what is a confirmation candle? A candle which appears right after the breakout candle. If that is also giving you signs that, okay, yes, this seems to be good, that is also in green, then I can say, okay, this breakout seems to be genuine. So I hope all these pointers are clear. I'll quickly repeat them one by one. The very first one, I said that the closing has to be above the resistance level. Number 2, we said that it's not only price, it's also volume that matters. Number 3, we said that only confirmation candle is not important. We have to ensure that it is only breakout candle is not important. It has to be followed by confirmation candle. And one more important point is that when we are talking about breakouts, avoid those breakouts which happen on a day when there is some news in the stock, or when there is some hype in the stock. There's a great chance that due to sudden news, due to sudden rumors, there could be a breakout, and that breakout could actually fade away. So let's take one example which gives you all the four pointers right up. Now I have on screen Geo Finance Services, a favorite stock of a lot of people, and that is the reason why I thought of taking this as an example. You might be like, Rachana, how are you showing the chart? If February, March, April, all are there in your screen. These are 2024. Okay, so I can easily show them. Last 3 months data is not what I can show because of the SEBI guidelines, but I'll give you a very nice example with the help of Geo. All 4 points are covered in the same chart. Okay, well, this is the listing day for Geo. Okay, now then after that, what happened? Continuous lower circuits, 1, 2, 3, and after that, the stock started to recover. Now, intraday, understand, intraday, was this a breakout? Yes, it was. But what is the first point in our checklist? That the breakout will be considered if the stock closes above the breakout level. Okay, it can't just be a wick which goes up intraday and closes below that. So this will not be considered as a breakout in the first place. I hope this is clear. Yes. Second point, we said that okay, this could potentially be a breakout. In that case, we'll have to check whether the volumes are good enough or not. But wait, there's one point here. Can you see it? It says E. And what is E? If I click on this, E says earnings. If you remember, I told you that if there is a breakout on the day when there is a news, some earnings related news, some big order win related news, some hype is created around the stock, such days ideally we should ignore, because there are great chances that these breakouts may not be real breakouts. They could be traps, they could be fake outs. And that is what we exactly saw, that after this day, the stock started to come down. Okay, clear till here? One more thing that we can see here is that, acha chalo, I'll also talk about the third point, which is volume now. Was this volume enough? So let's say, assume that this was not the earnings day. Was this volume enough or not? Now I'll tell you a very simple way how to do it. I'm doing a left click and I'm holding on to it. Okay, left click and I've held on to it. You can see the volume, it's 68.62 millions. Okay, so possibility number one, compare this 68 million with 30 days average. I can't show that right now because it will show me latest data, so I can't show that right now. What could be another way for it? Now, this is similar to something like a cup and handle. This is not a textbook pattern, but if we just, widen our imagination, this could be something like a cup and a handle and a breakout. Okay, so what we have to do is the formation of this entire chart pattern. Here we can see how much is the average volume and then compare it with what happened here. So let us say I'm talking about chalo this candle, which also has a decent enough movement, 2.7% movement. See, the volume here is 23 million versus the one that we saw at breakout, that was 68 millions. Just check the last line, correct? So is this almost triple? Yes. Happy with that? Yes. Even if you check here, this is 60 million, it's over and above that also. Okay, so typically one more point you have to remember, check the volume of the breakout candle. Ideally we should be happy if it is 2x or more than that. But this one is just one of the candles, right? Otherwise, if you see here all these candles, and visually also if you see this is easily 2x. Okay, just to give you one more example, maybe how much is this volume? This is 17 million. We were talking about 68 millions right now. Fair enough. Now this is a class candle again. Look at the amazing candle, 13.9% up in a single day. Look at the volume. Super happy with this. Volume is how much? Volume is 211 million. And we just saw the volumes right now. Is this a crazy volume? Yes. What was missing here? It was the confirmation candle. So if a confirmation candle doesn't come right away, there are great chances that it will come down to retest. And is that what we saw? Yes. There was a breakout, there was a retest, and then we started to see a bounce. Okay. So all 4 points, I'm going to quickly wrap up one more time. This can't be treated as a breakout. Why? Closing is not above the resistance line. Second thing, we said I will not consider this as a breakout because it has happened on an earnings day. So should not be considering this. Third, is this a good breakout? Yes. Are the volumes crazy? Absolutely crazy. Easily more than 2x, 3x, 4x of the volumes that we could see here. Even visually you can see this. Look at the height of these volume bars versus look at the height of this volume bar. But fourth point, this was not followed by a confirmation candle, so we should wait ideally. Typically there are chances that it will come down to retest and then it could bounce. So I hope all these 4 points are absolutely clear. But wait, I showed you everything which is there in the current scenario. Your homework is that, which unfortunately I can't show you right now. There could be a breakout in Geo Financial Services right now, in the weekly chart, in the daily chart, whatever, check that. Now, breakouts, it's not necessary that they happen only in a horizontal fashion like this. Could there be a possibility that a breakout happens something like this, that there's a downward trend, a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, like this. We join this, okay? And now what we see here is a nice green candle. Okay, this is one more type of breakout. So a downward trending breakout, a sideways trending breakout, or it could also be an upward trending breakout, something like this. And then there is this candle. Okay, so I want you to tell me whether you can see a breakout in geofinance, whether it's a sideways breakout, downward trending breakout, or an upward trending breakout, in the comment section below. Now let's move on with the next sets, where we'll understand 3 more points on how to identify whether it's a real breakout or it's a fake out. The breakout candle is really important. Now if you see a candle which is not a very strong candle, it may be a fake out. Now what do I mean by that? So let us say la 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 and there was a breakout. How does this breakout candle look like? Ideally it should be a nice bodied candle with maybe a small wick, that's fine, but the body of the candle should be very good. Okay, if it's something like a marubuzu means something like this, full bodied candle. Nothing like it. What could be a horrible candle? Something like this, doji candle. Okay, this will not give me comfort. Or it could be something like this. Okay, the candle is big, right? But this could be what the wick could look like. Arre baapre, this will not give me enough confidence, right? So what should we look out for? A full bodied candle or something like this is fine. What I should not look out for is something like a doji or something which has a very big wick. Okay, so I'm going to give you examples for this. Apart from this, what should you check? That if we can see a breakout in, let's say, monthly chart, try to see whether we can see, or let's say we start with a daily chart, you can see a nice breakout in daily candle. Try to see the structure even in a weekly candle. Try to see the structure even in a daily candle, and this we call as multi time frame analysis. Okay, what is multi time frame? Check in daily pattern, check in weekly pattern, as well as in monthly pattern. Simple enough? Yes. So I hope both these points are absolutely clear. We'll also talk about one more, anyways, one last point is remaining. We'll also talk about that. It is about a pattern context. So whatever examples I gave you right now, these were just like downward sloping, upward sloping, and something like that. But if we see a breakout, something like this, so let's say there was a night, the chart, the stock was going up, and then it started moving sideways, and then it started again going up. So this is a classic example of an up flag, and assume this is a amazing candle. This can be a little bit more reliable because this breakout candle is in a chart pattern, or maybe there is a double bottom, something like this, and then there is a nice breakout. This I would typically give a little bit more importance to. Okay, so I hope you have understood all 3 points. Which were the 3 points? Let me quickly summarize it up for you. First one, I said that the breakout candle structure is really important. Full bodied candle, I should not be looking out for dojis or which has a very big wick. Number two, I talked about you have to also check the time frame analysis, multiple time frame. The overall breakout should look strong in a daily, weekly, and in a monthly time frame. And last one, I said that if this breakout is with a pattern confirmation, something like whatever cup and handle or double bottom or with an up flag pattern, whatever, I would give it a slightly higher conviction. Okay, so I'll quickly give you examples for all these 3 points. One of my favorites, one of my favorite breakouts that happened in REC. You look at this. This level was achieved in October 2010. After that, it tried to break the same level in May 2017, and ultimately it broke out in July 2023. A strong bodied candle. Look at this. Such an amazing bodied candle for the breakout. Even the volumes are decent enough, correct? And look at the confirmation candle also. Very nice bodied candle. And look at the volume. Crazy. And then, I mean, there has been no stopping, and the latest that you can see on screen is July 24. I'm not going to show you what happened next, so I hope this is clear. Even if you check out the monthly time, this is a monthly time frame chart, right? Even if you check daily, weekly, you will see that it is showing a very similar and strong breakout pattern. Okay, now I'll give you one more example, which is for BSE. Okay, now we'll be like, all right, BSE you're showing again, this is 2023. Okay, now if you see here, this is a classic example of a double bottom. Okay, and here you can see this is a breakout candle. Again, visually look out for the volumes here. Even if you check here, what is the volume here? Volume is around 2.26 million. For here also it is 3.28 million. And look at the breakout ka volume. it is 9.28 millions. Okay, so I hope you are understanding this. This has been followed by a confirmation candle. We did see some consolidation, and you check out for yourself what happened to the stock price after that. But I hope all in all, these 3 points are also absolutely clear on how can you identify overall breakouts versus fakeouts. But one important point here, what is the important point? Even if you see a breakout, but unfortunately you are a bit late in identifying that and the stock has already run up, in that case don't be greedy. Okay, you have to ensure that there is a 2 is to 1 reward is to risk ratio while you enter the stock. If you don't have such a nice reward versus risk ratio, please don't enter the stock. There are multiple opportunities which are available. So do analyze, but keep this in mind that there are great chances that you might miss out the bus in a lot of cases, but you should be absolutely okay with that. Now comes a very, very, very important point, which is about 7 stocks that you are going to do as a homework. I have identified something in these stocks. I'm not going to tell you whether it's a breakout or a fake out, but either or is there, either a breakout or a fake out. Okay, so write down the names. First one is Ultratech Cement. Okay, second one is Alkyl Amines. Third one is Geofinance. Fourth one is SRF. Fifth one is Motilal Oswal. Sixth one is Rainbow Children. Okay, and seventh one, which I already gave you the example, or let me change the seventh one. Chalo, seventh one is Bharti Airtel. Okay, um, so I want everyone to do the homework. All those who do the homework, so what you have to do, homework is nothing but check the charts of all these 7 stocks. In the comment section, write down the name of the stock and write down either breakout or fake out. Just write down these words. Anyone who completes all 7, I'm going to give you a special shout out in my upcoming Thursday live stream. That Thursday live stream is special. That is going to happen on the Guru Purnima. So this will be like a task that a guru has given to a student. So I'll be really happy if all the students do the homework, and I'll give you a shout out on the Thursday live stream. I hope this is very clear. Before we close the video, let me give you a quick summary one more time about the checklist. 7-pointer checklist you can see here. Confirmation above resistance, confirmation post breakout, high volumes, no high based spike, strong breakout candle, higher time frame confirmation, and a clear chart pattern. With all these 7 points, I hope you have understood how to identify breakouts and how to identify fake outs. I hope you found a lot of value in today's video. If you did, please don't forget to smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.